Our next guest this morning is Natalia Rosa. She is a founding student at KIPP Charter Public School in Lynn, a Leslie College graduate, and now she is an English language learning teacher back at KIPP Academy in Lynn Elementary, where she graduated. She is also a DACA recipient. Natalia immigrated with her parents from Brazil to the United States when she was just 7 years old. To her, growing up in a low-income community did not mean that she was limited. Her parents taught her that if she worked hard and stayed motivated, she could defy the odds and graduate from college. In 2012, she was accepted to Leslie University with a Dean's Scholarship, but it wasn't until then President Obama announced the DACA program that she renewed her hope for completing college. In 2016, she graduated magna cum laude, was accepted to teach for America as a Massachusetts Corps member, and then returned to her hometown of Lynn to give back and teach English to kindergarten students at KIPP Academy Elementary in Lynn. Today, she hopes to inspire others, drawing from her own struggles as a DACA immigrant and as a non-native English speaker. Welcome to Urban Update, Natalia. Thanks for coming in. And I've got to say, you know, what an inspirational story of yours. You've come full circle by coming back to your school where you started out.
Yes, I did, and I'm so glad to be there. I remember even when I was there, I already spoke about going back to KIPP and maybe one day founding a KIPP school, so who knows?
Now, for someone who has lived this journey, coming here from Brazil at 7 years old with your parents, talk to me about how ending the DACA program, I guess how the DACA program impacts students in general. Deferred action for childhood arrivals. People like yourself who come here through no fault of your own because of your parents.
Right. Well, my parents immigrated here because they wanted to provide a better future for me and my brothers. So I came here when I was 7 years old. And I'll talk a little bit about my experience before DACA and after DACA so you can have a better understanding of what DACA has done to me, for me. Before DACA, I felt like I had to hide a lot about me, who I was. I was living in fear, the fear of deportation, which DACA shields me from, and other DACA recipients. And after DACA, I was very excited because I found out I would be able to get a work permit. And at that moment in my life, it was exactly what I needed because I was heading on to college. And coming from a low-income community, my parents could not afford college, even with the Dean's Scholarship. So being able to have a work permit and work my way through college was amazing. And when the question came about of whether DACA would continue or end, my whole world shattered because now I'm a teacher. I'm teaching at KIPP Academy Lynn, teaching English language learners. Holds a special place in my heart because I was an English language learner myself. And with that idea that this might not be a possibility anymore, and everything that I worked so hard for would be just taken away at a whim, made me really upset.
Now, just for those who don't understand DACA, what it is it's a 2-year renewal. Every 2 years you have to get what?
Yeah, every 2 years I have to get my biometrics, which means I have to go in, get my fingerprints, get a background check. They have to approve me as a citizen who can get a work permit and Social Security.
And then you get another 2-year renewal on your work permit.
So every 2 years I have to apply, pay a fee, do all of this.
What do you think some of the myths are, or preconceived notions about DACA that you think need to be cleared up?
I think that maybe just a lot of times immigrants in general, they're viewed as someone who's here to steal jobs, someone who doesn't pay taxes, someone who doesn't deserve to be here. But I can speak for myself. That is not true. I consider myself someone who gives back to the community. I consider myself as holding American values. And so I pay my taxes, you know. I'm not here to steal anybody's job. I'm just here to help, and you know, why not help my community? Lynn is what I call home. So when they tell me go back to your home, yeah, I'll go back to Lynn. That's where I live. That's where I grew up.
Yeah, so you wouldn't really know what to do with yourself in Brazil after growing up here in the States. Now, it has been a political ping pong. What would you like the Trump administration and Congress to do with DACA? Because right now there's a lot of arguing back and forth, end it, keep it, et cetera.
I would definitely like to have DACA stay, but if it is for it to end, then I want for the DREAM Act to pass, because it's not fair to give DACA recipients DACA and then take everything away. And at this point, we are out there. I'm sharing my story here today, and I know a lot of people have stepped up and have shared their story with DACA, and taking it all away and not giving anything in return or to take its place, I think it's very unfair, and that's not what the American dream is about.
What do you think people who are watching, what could they do to help, in your view?
Definitely contact your congressperson and ask them to pass the DREAM Act, to support the DREAM Act. And if you'd like to know more about contacting your congressperson, you can visit dreamers.fwd.us.
Now, tell me what KIPP charter schools, that's where you work, what does KIPP charter schools do to support immigrants and DACA families?
So KIPP has a lot of family and community learning programs where adult learners who are immigrants can go to, and services such as English language classes are offered. Also, citizenship programs are offered where immigrants are able to learn more about paths to citizenship, and they can prepare to take the citizenship exam. Also, there's the Know Your Rights program there, where it's really targeted to educating the community about their rights.
Well, you're talking about these are services that are available to Dreamers and their families.
Yeah, anyone in the community, and it's free to everyone.
Now, the KIPP Charter School in Lynn recently took part in a national day of action to call attention to the plight of the Dreamers and who are getting ready to go to college or are in college and are unclear about their status. Can you sort of talk to me about that day of action and what happened with all of that?
So the day of action was really a day to get DACA recipients and other immigrants to be able to share their story, because I think a lot of times with everything going on in politics, we forget that this really affects human beings, and you're tolling with people's lives. So the day of action was really about having people share their story and put a face to the cause.
We were talking about this before, but you've been, how old were you? You were about 15, 16 when the DACA program came in and you were able to apply, or how old were you then?
So I was 19.
19. And so every 2 years you have to go through this, and they're debating whether they should end it all in Congress now, of course. Personally, how do you feel secure?
At the moment, no. I mean, I'm glad that it's still here, and I actually have my biometrics coming up to renew it again, but it's a part of my life that's very uncertain. If they decide to take it away in 90 days, they can. And I can't really do much about it. I'm here today to try to put my story out there and to ask for fellow citizens who can speak out and who can vote to do that, because I can't vote, so I don't have that say in politics.
Do you feel vulnerable putting yourself out there like this?
Of course.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Now, we talked about how I guess there are a number of states who are trying to end DACA, but Massachusetts obviously is not. Talk to me about your feelings about living here in Massachusetts.
I'm grateful and thankful and lucky to live in Massachusetts, but at the same time, I'm thinking about all of the amazing people that I've met that don't live in Massachusetts. Being affiliated with Teach for America, I get to meet amazing teachers who teach all over the country, and a lot of them do teach in states who aren't so amiable towards DACA recipients. And so while I feel lucky and blessed to be living in Massachusetts, I know it's greater than just what happens in Massachusetts.
Now, do you see new DACA students at your school every day and when coming, or not every day, but do you see new DACA students at your school?
So I mostly work with kindergartners. They're too young to be part of the DACA program, but I know that at the high school there are some DACA recipients, and this is a time where they're getting ready to go to college, or other students who are graduating and looking for careers. So taking away DACA would definitely be a big toll for them.
And I guess to wrap things up, I'll just give you the last word on really anything you want to say about to anybody about DACA, the general public, to the new DACA arrivals. What would you have to? What words of inspiration, or would you like to give them?
We are resilient people, and no matter what, don't let anyone take that away from you. But also, I would like to leave a note for my fellow citizens who can call out and vote to pass the DREAM Act. DACA is amazing, but it's not enough. We are citizens of this country, and we just need that one piece of document to really have it be official.
Okay, and we'll leave it right there. Natalia, Rosa, thank you for coming in, and good luck. Good luck renewing your citizenship and your work permit, I should say, coming up.
Citizenship soon, we hope.
Okay, all right. Okay, Natalia, thanks for coming in. All right, in just a few moments, the Year of the Woman and why these gains have been so important. We'll be talking about this when I come back right here on Urban Update. Stay with us.